about 17 years ago, that's when I actually came into this world. And I've actually learned a whole lot of lessons, not just in my personal life, but also in my entrepreneurial life, which actually started when I was just 10 years old. And I've been an entrepreneur for that entirety of that period of time. And I've actually accumulated a lot of lessons, which I'm going to be sharing with you guys in today's video. These will be very relevant to you, whether you're under 17 or whether you are above 17. Now, tell me your age bracket in the video's comment section. So, lesson number one is put God first. Now, this might sound like a very common advice, which is why I'm actually putting God first in this video. I actually recorded this video, but I actually had to delete it because I actually want to tell you guys about putting God first as first by leading by that example. So you can actually see that God should be your number one and you won't be the last. So make God the first and you won't be the last, so that you can be above and not beneath. So you might not actually be believing in God or something like that, but trust me, if you actually put God first in your life, then God will never allow you to be last. So lesson number two is you need to work twice as hard. Now, if you're actually a business person who is under 17 or under 18 years old in general, whether you're even above 18, I actually recommend you need to work twice as hard. Now, working twice as hard means if your competition is working 10 hours a week, you actually need to work 20 hours a week. So working 20 hours a week is actually going to help you get more done in that same time frame. In that same period of time, you can actually get twice as much done in that same period of time. So let's say your computer produces books and they work 10 hours a day and they produce 50 books every single day. When you work 20 hours a day, you're actually going to be producing 100 books per day. So that's just simple math. So lesson number two is learn from people's mistakes. Now, the whole of which you can actually learn from people's mistakes, which is actually reading books from people who have actually done these things in the past. So you need to actually get advice from people and actually listen to people who are on the same path as you. So you actually avoid the same mistakes they have actually made and then actually get to where they have gotten twice faster or even faster than they actually got there. So number four lesson is actually you will fail. So yes, that is something that is actually going to happen. You are going to fail. And I'm not actually saying this as a bad prayer to you or something like that. But what I actually mean is that you're actually going to try, but because you have actually not had experience before, you are going to fail. Or even if you have actually built a business before, trust me, you actually encounter various challenges on the journey. So you don't actually have to despair when you encounter these challenges. You just have to use them as stepping stones to actually get to higher levels. So number five lesson is actually get a mentor if possible. Now, getting a mentor might be quite expensive, but I recommend you get it if that's within your means, because when you actually get a mentor, he's going to help you cut your journey very much short. So what was meant to take you 100 days to learn is actually going to take you maybe 50 or 70 days to actually learn it. So that is it for learning a mentor. So the next lesson is actually subscribe to my channel. And I know that might actually sound very crazy or something like that, but I recommend you subscribe to my channel. Why? Not just because of my own benefit, but because of your own benefit. So is benefiting both parties. So when you subscribe to my channel, you're actually going to be getting advice and getting to learn from my mistakes and things that I've actually learned, because I'm actually documenting my journey on this channel as a trader, and I'm actually going to be telling you guys about all the challenges I'm actually encountering, so you guys can actually overcome those hurdles and actually grow twice as fast. So just in case you don't know, my name is Kennedy and I'm actually a trader, although I'm not actually a successful trader in that aspect, but I'm actually coming up. So my next lesson for you is actually get friends who are on the same journey as you. So you might actually have heard the saying that birds of the same feather flock together. And why that may be true, you actually observe that most people who actually succeed in life might actually have someone who was with them there, so they could actually get to their journey faster. So that's it. You actually have to find friends who are on the same journey as you. When I say friends, I don't mean anybody who is just there for you. I'm talking about people who are willing to actually go out of their way to help you, and people you are actually willing to go out of their way to help them, and you all are on the same path. So when you find those kind of people, make sure you keep them. So my next lesson for you, not an advice, is start early. You get challenges early, and then you succeed early. So the key is starting. If you have an idea on something you're meant to be working on, make sure you start immediately. Start just now. Immediately after watching this video, start making inquiries on how you can actually get started. For me, as an example, I actually started learning how to code. I don't actually have a working laptop that I can actually use to learn how to code. So I actually started learning how to code on just my phone. So make sure you actually start learning, because when you're actually waiting for all those equipment, you're not actually going to get them in the short run. So make sure you actually get started. You don't actually know what doors might open up to you once you actually get started. So my next lesson is take more risk. Most of the best things that have actually happened to me came from taking risks. So I actually recommend you actually take more risk, because you're actually young at this point. Because if you don't actually take a lot of risks now that you're young, you might not be able to take those risks when you actually grow old, because you're going to actually have a whole lot of responsibilities at that point. So the next lesson is, don't be afraid to invest in yourself. When I mean investing in yourself, I mean actually being able to buy courses, buy books. Now, there are a whole lot of gurus out there, which is why it's actually getting harder to actually get good resources to actually learn. Because when you invest in real estate, invest in all those things, there's a limited return which you can actually get from all these things. But when you invest in yourself, the investment is limitless. You can actually be able to make more money back, even if you lose all those your assets. You can actually be able to make all those things back. Why? Because you actually have the knowledge to do it. So the next thing is learn a skill, which is quite similar to what I just said. Learn a good skill. Now there are a whole lot of skills like copywriting, coding, cyber security, web designs, and a whole lot of other things. This is why I said learn a skill, because whenever you actually go broke, those your skills are going to be very, very essential to you to actually help you come up the ranks and join the higher echelon of people in that same space. So the next lesson I've actually learned is stop consuming and start creating. Now, if you're watching this video, you're actually consuming the content that I created. I actually was a consumer of content for a very long time, and so I actually decided to actually start creating content for you guys. If you actually look at the world, the people who are actually on top are people who are creating, and the people below are the people who are consuming. So the higher the value you create, the higher the society values you, and the lower the value you create, the lesser the society values you, which is why Nigeria is not among the top countries of the world, because Nigerians are mostly consumers and not even producers. So the next lesson out there is expect the worst and hope for the best. So like I actually say, you're going to get challenges on your way. So you actually have to plan for those days that are actually going to be rainy. If you're actually running a business and everything is going very well for you, then don't worry. Time is actually going to come when you're actually going to experience hitches. And when you experience those hitches and glitches, don't fret, but actually learn from them while still working hard and hoping for the best. So the next thing is, there is no deadline to success. Now, a lot of people actually think that when you're actually trying to actually start a business or something, after a particular date, you might not actually be able to succeed again. Well, that may be true if you actually have staff that are paying or something like that, if you actually run out of money. But the thing is that if you fail, you can actually start over again, even if you have no money, But as far as your life, there's actually hope if you actually keep working on this thing. Because if you actually keep working on this, there's actually hope for you. Because he who has life has hope. So the next lesson is actually avoid showing off or pride. And before I actually continue with this lesson, I actually want to tell you guys that if you actually want to learn more, get more tips from me, ensure you click the red subscribe button down below. And if you're actually watching this video to this point, it shows you're actually very, very committed to these things. And I encourage you to drop a comment saying I watched to this point, and I actually know that you actually watched this video till this point. So I can actually send you a congratulations message for watching to this point. So getting over to my next lesson, which says avoid showing off or pride. Now, you don't actually know your level in the world. Trust me, there's always someone who is higher than you, no matter how high you think you are. There's nobody who is perfect all around. So avoid showing off, avoid the temptation of actually showing off money or something like that to your friends or anybody like that. That makes you a prey for your enemies, and they're actually going to be able to get you if you're someone who actually shows off, because that actually results to pride instantly. So my next lesson to you is that you're an adult and you actually need to start taking responsibility. I don't care if you're 14 years old watching this video. I started doing business before I was actually 14. So, although I don't actually have a lot of things to actually show for it, but I know that one day God is actually going to turn up for me. So, always know that you're an adult now and you actually need to take responsibility for that. So, take responsibility even if you're 14, take responsibility of every single thing you are doing and hold yourself accountable in case if anything goes wrong. So, the last advice here, which is the number 17 advice, is something I want you to type in the comment section down below. I know that you might have actually learned something new from this video, and if you did, tell me in the comment section. Now, even if you're above 17 or you're below 17, there's an advice someone out there might actually be needing, and if you actually drop it in the comment section, then they might actually be able to use this advice to actually do something very good for their life. So actually make sure you drop an advice for someone down below in the comment section. So I actually want to end this video by saying that I always love you and I always want to see you at the top, because that's where I'll be chilling till you come up.